MGM Springfield's team members spent the day placing American flags on the graves of veterans throughout Springfield Cemetery. It's part of a citywide effort with the Department of Veterans Services to honor and remember those who served our country. We're told more than 20,000 veteran graves are located in Springfield, and twice a year ahead of Memorial Day and Veterans Day, city volunteers come together to participate in flagging efforts. Western Mass News stopped by the event where we caught up with Joe DeCaro, Deputy Director for Veteran Services in Springfield. He tells us having MGM this year to participate was a huge help due to a lack of volunteers.
Before the pandemic, we used to have a lot of volunteers call into the office and actually show up at the cemeteries themselves. They still do, but not in the numbers that they used to.
DeCaro says as a veteran himself, it means a lot to have volunteers such as MGM and other local businesses come out and help honor our fallen service members.